All right, so today for my first video, it's not going to be what you think I'm going to be talking about, which is money, relationships, stuff like that. We're going to be talking about the downfall of Western civilization, okay? 5 years ago, Chili's was one of the only corporate restaurants that you could actively go into and smoke a cigarette while you're eating your food. 5 years ago. 5 years ago was the only place left you could walk in with a cigarette, have a nice cigarette while you eat your meal. Nowadays, I just went to Chili's today, okay? It used to be a place with affordable food. You can go in there with your boys, 5 people, spend maybe $50 if you tried, with appetizers and all the meals, maybe $50. I just went to Chili's today. I was having a fantastic day. Every day in my life is fantastic, so this one was as well. But today I walked in there, already fat people everywhere, everyone's out of shape, okay? Took us 5 minutes for a hostess to walk up. 5 minutes, okay? And then as soon as we sit down, I look to my left. Fights are on the TV. It wasn't the UFC, it was some off-brand organization, people fighting 2-0, 2-2, not high-level fighters, but they were still good fights. But I'm having to turn all the way to my left to see these fights, okay? Turn all the way over here, I'm breaking my neck. So I say to the nice server named Dunn, okay? His name is Dunn. After every time you order it, no matter what it was, he would go, done. So I'll take a Cajun chicken pasta, done. I'll take a water, done. You know, that was his catchphrase, is done. So I kind of already like this guy because he's making me laugh with his done joke, even though it's not a joke to him, it's a joke to me. But I like him for it. So I asked him nicely, hey man, there's some old shit over here. They were playing like 1987 NBA draft. Who cares about the 1987 NBA draft? It's 2024. So I say, hey, there's some old shit on the TV over there. There's some nice fights going on right here. Could you switch it for me? He goes, yeah, let me see what I can do for you. I go, appreciate it, Dunn. He walks over to the manager, tells him what I've asked for, and then I look back over and the fights are off. I go, what the fuck? Okay, all right, maybe they're just taking some time to move the fights from this screen over to that screen, because that's what I'm assuming, okay? 5 minutes goes by. There's no fights on the TV. Okay, there's none. There's no fights on the TV anymore. So then I called Dunn over. I was like, Dunn, come here, bro. I was like, what's happened? He's like, yeah, man, they had to turn off the fights completely because it's too violent. Too violent? There's fights on the TV in Chili's where you're serving us poison, and that's too violent. Life is violence, okay? If someone came into the restaurant and just started destroying the place, they would call a police officer to come over and stop them with violence. They would tackle them to the floor and tell them to stop. And I told them, I was like, okay, so you can't put it on there because it's too violent. Yes. So then I called the manager over. I go, come here. I don't remember the guy's name. I'm not going to lie. He was too insignificant for me to remember. See, at least the Dunn guy, he had something going for him. Dunn. I remember him. I will remember him. The manager, the only thing I remember him for is not turning on the fights. I don't even know his name. I don't know his catchphrase. I don't know anything. So the manager comes over and I bring out my sales skills. I go, hey man, you said you couldn't turn the fights on. You know, he's like, yeah, it's just corporate. You know, it's too violent. There's kids around. We can't put it on. And I was like, okay, I understand. So here's what I'm going to do. Do you like $2 bills? He goes, yeah, I'm actually a collector. I go, okay, you're a collector. I pull out my wallet. I pull out a crisp $2 bill. Those are rare nowadays. And I hand it to him. And he goes, okay, I'll turn it over there on that TV. He's like, I'm just kidding. I'll get in trouble for it. And he hands me the $2 bill back. Who the fuck is going to go to the Chili's Corporation and tell them, there's fights on in here. I'm never coming back to this establishment. No one. You know, I'm not coming back to that establishment because I was treated like shit. They're not real about the world. You need to be real about the world nowadays. The reason why everyone's so poor, the reason everyone's so sad, the reason that everyone's so depressed is because they're not real with life. They don't understand what the hell actually goes on. Violence is reality. And if you can't put a fucking fight on a TV that's as big as this phone that's recording me right now, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, 5 years ago, Chili's was the best restaurant on earth. I would go there 4 times a week. Spend $10 on a meal, get to smoke a cigarette, and it was just a great place to be. Nowadays, it's just like every corporate place out there. Corporate has ruined the world. Corporate, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to explain this to y'all. And then guess what? The other day, I went to a very nice seafood restaurant. Spent $120. on 4 pounds of seafood. Seems reasonable. Service was great. Foods, drinks, 4 pounds of seafood, potatoes, lemons, the works. $120. I went to Chili's today. Order mozzarella sticks. A burger, a piece of salmon, and some pasta was $98. Back in the day, you couldn't spend $98 in Chili's if you bought the whole menu. So now the prices have raised. You can't do what you want, and you can't even enjoy what you want on the TV show. They had some old shit up. No one even looked at the TV. Everyone I saw in there that was looking at the TV was looking at the fights.